Welcome back to Accessible Gourmet. Today we're making paella. This is a dish that I've never personally made, so I'm excited to see how this turns out. Here are all the ingredients that you need to make this dish. To start, we need to prep all of our mise en place. So you're going to cut up your chorizo, I'm using 2 links, into 1/2-inch discs. Next, we're going to finely dice a red bell pepper, removing the seeds and the core. We're also going to need to chop up 1 white onion into a fine dice, enough to make 2 cups. For me it was only 1 onion, but if you need to use more, then use more. Finally mince up 5 cloves of garlic. I'm separating 2 cloves because I need that for one component and another 3 for another component. So I'm chopping them up and putting them in 2 separate dishes. Let's move on to the herb blend. We're going to need parsley, garlic, lemon, and olive oil. Chop up enough parsley to yield 1 cup. Place your parsley in a small bowl, add the 2 cloves of chopped garlic, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and a 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Give this a mix and set it aside for later. Now on to the broth. In a large saucepan, add 6 cups of chicken broth. I'm using homemade because that's what I had on hand, 1 cup of water, and about a teaspoon of saffron. Place this over the stove, bring to a simmer, and keep it warm. In a separate saucepan, heat 1 tablespoon of olive oil over medium-high heat and add your chicken thighs. These are going to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes per side. Your chicken will let you know when it's ready to be flipped because it won't stick when you go to lift it. Once your chicken is browned, take it out of the pan and set it aside on a plate. And in the same pan, add in your chorizo and your prosciutto and cook that for 2 to 3 minutes. Remove that and put it on a separate plate and put it to the side. Or you can add it to the same plate as the chicken because that's going to go back in together. You're going to notice pieces stuck to the bottom of your pan. That's fine. It's called fond. It's going to get scraped up later when we add all of our liquids, and it's going to add such a depth of flavor to your final dish. Here's where I neglected to hit the record button on my camera and show you where I removed the chorizo and the prosciutto and set it aside and put in all of my bell peppers and diced onions and cooked it down for 15 minutes. Once that's all cooked down, we're going to add a 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 3 cloves of garlic, and stir that and let that cook for about 5 minutes. While you're stirring in the tomatoes, garlic, and paprika, be sure to scrape the bottom to get all that fond that I talked about earlier incorporated into the dish. After 5 minutes, add your 3 cups of arborio rice. Short grain rice is better for this dish. I would not recommend a sushi rice because it's going to get too sticky. So stir this around constantly for 1 minute until all of the rice is coated. After you've cooked the rice for about 1 minute, you want to add in your herb mixture, all of your chicken broth, the chicken, sausage, prosciutto, as well as 1 cup of frozen peas. Bring this to a low boil and let it cook for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we're going to take our cleaned and debearded mussels and nestle them into the rice mixture. Make sure they're really in there because you want these to cook in the liquid in the hot rice, as well as release all of their juices in there. We're going to cook these for about 2 to 5 minutes or until the mussels open. Discard any of the mussels that don't open. Last but not least, we're going to add our shrimp. These are clean deveined shrimp without the shell. I did leave a little shell on the tail because I like the look of that. Nestle that in there and cook these until they're pink. Once the shrimp is cooked, turn off the heat and add 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice. You may have noticed that we didn't season at all during the process of this dish. That's because I wanted to wait to the end. Because the mussels and the shrimp bring their own salinity, as well as the chorizo and the prosciutto, I wanted to wait to the end to taste it to make sure I didn't over season. If you taste it and feel like you need more salt or pepper, definitely add that in. And cover it with a towel and let it rest for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, uncover it, sprinkle on a little extra parsley, and serve. This paella turned out just incredible. It was so flavorful. It had that crispy bottom on the rice that's indicative of a good paella. So I really hope you try to make this at home. It's not as hard as it looks. It's pretty standard and easy. It just takes a little time, just like anything good does. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you loved it, subscribe because I put out new videos every week. Until next time, happy cooking.